This is Andi Purewal for Boxing Social. In association with Betfred, I'm joined by promoter Eddie Hearn on the back of Saul Canelo Alvarez's unanimous decision victory over Callum Smith. Eddie, reflect on the performance and the win for me.
He's just too good, isn't he? I mean, just amazing to watch up close. Like, I watched him box Danny Jacobs. I got the benefit of being in the corral tonight because of the bubble, and just so good. I mean, I'm very proud of Callum Smith, obviously. He was incredibly tough, didn't go down, wanted to stay in there till the end. Obviously, we know he damaged his arm as well. I don't think it's really going to make much difference. He admits that himself. But just huge respect to Canelo Alvarez. He's the best fighter in the world. And I'm very proud of Callum for coming over here and taking on the challenge. He wanted to try and beat the pound-for-pound #1, and he should be very proud of himself.
Did you expect anything more from Callum tonight, or was it just simply a matter of Canelo's just that good?
Because, there's a couple of things you can do in a fight. You can keep trying, keep throwing, which Callum did till the last bell. He just couldn't put a dent in Canelo Alvarez. He couldn't land cleanly on Canelo Alvarez, but he never looked for a way out. He never took a knee. He never moaned about his arm. He never wanted the corner to pull him out of the fight. He battled till the end. And, this is what you want, isn't it? Sometimes you're not good enough to beat what's in front of you. But that's no disgrace when it's a pound-for-pound #1. And he'll come again. I believe he'll move up to 175 pounds. And, he should be proud of his performance. Because even in the last, 10, 11 and 12 were treacherous. He was still throwing. Still trying to land a shot. Still trying to catch and counter. And no, that's just the mark of a real fight. I think he showed tremendous toughness tonight.
I've seen people mention on social media that at one stage in the latter rounds, Joe was looking to pull Callum from the fight. Do you think that maybe could have been pulled out, or...?
No, I don't actually, because at the end of the day, Joe Gallagher and the brothers of Callum are in the corner, and they know what they're doing. I know that Callum was very unlikely to win the fight at that stage, but he kind of earned the right to hear the final bell. He hadn't been put down. Of course he's getting hurt, it's a fight, but I actually think that I'm glad he heard the final bell, to be honest with you, because I think to stick in there for that long that he did, and he was throwing back, and he was moving, and he knew what he was doing. He was just up against a very good fighter, so I think you always have to leave it to the corner. I guess the argument he could have been pulled out, but for me, I'm glad that he got to see the final bell because he showed the toughness to try and see that out.
Now, Canelo's a free agent, but there's two guys that you could look to get him in with, one being Triple G for a trilogy fight, or Billy Joe Saunders. What's the move, Eddie?
I don't know. I mean, look, it's been brilliant working with him, and my first priority working with Canelo Alvarez was to get Callum Smith the opportunity, and the second one was to obviously bring him back to the zone. It's been like dealing with Callum and Canelo. They've been absolutely brilliant to work with. Eddie Reynoso, who I've worked with Julio Cesar Martinez. Just fantastic to work with because they just want to fight. They want to achieve. But, to see him come... I went into the change room and went, I can't believe that ring walk. That was the best ring walk I've ever done, and this week's been great. That makes me feel amazing and shows what a great job our team have done because he's the #1 pound-for-pound fighter in the world. So, of course, there's nothing more I'd love to promote than promote Canelo Alvarez, but he has plenty of options. So I'll be presenting my options to him, which, of course, are Gennady Golovkin and Billy Joe Saunders. That's the fights that I think he looks at. I think he wants to fight the champs. I really do. He mentioned it in the press conference there. We can make the Billy Joe Saunders fight very quickly. I think we can make the Triple G fight as well. That's a big fight for DAZN. DAZN did huge numbers tonight as well. And, yeah, I mean, I'm ready to present him with the next one. He said to me tonight, he went, who's next? He said, I've beaten 3 now of your guys. So we're going to beat him one day.
Have you got any idea as to how everything was received back home with DAZN launching in the UK?
No, I mean, my focus obviously, is US based and globally based with DAZN, and I think the UK launch was a success. The numbers I know were good, but the numbers in the US were extremely good, and it's great news for DAZN because obviously going through the pandemic, you will lose subscribers because the boxing went dark for a few months, and sort of that's been rekindled tonight. And they go into Ryan Garcia against Luke Campbell, Chocolatito against Estrada, we announced today as well. Demetrius Andre, whether he fights Billy Joe Saunders. Hopefully Devin Haney can fight the winner of Luke Campbell and Ryan Garcia in April. And then, I think they've got the best schedule in boxing.
I just want to quickly touch on the undercard. Austin Ammo Williams, a destructive performance, first round win. And then immediately after, calls out Anthony Fowler.
Yeah. That's going to be a big fight. I said to Austin tonight, time. Anthony's a very good fighter. He's extremely experienced, particularly in the amateurs. But that can be, give us 6 to 9 months, that can be a real big headline fight. Ammo was in a fight tonight that was supposed to give him rounds. A durable opponent, but he punches so hard, he's really exciting. I thought Ray Ford was really good. This kid is coming on, sparring with Teofimo, sparring with Shakur, and this kid can really fight. I think he's coming on the blind side. Frank Sanchez, Eddie Reynoso's guy, brutal knockout. I thought Fernandez was game as you come. I mean, tough. And Mark Castro, after I think some jelly legs in the first round or two from the occasion, settled down and boxed nicely. This kid's a world-class fighter. So, good. We know that on shows without full crowds, like a Canelo Alvarez show, it's sometimes difficult to sink too much money into bigger fights on the undercard. But I was pleased with it, and I thought the younger fighters got their opportunity to shine in front of a huge audience tonight. Guys like Ammo and Ray Ford and, of course, Mark Castro. So big nights for them.
Just a few other quick things I want to touch on away from this card. Estrada versus Gonzalez, you mentioned number 2 coming round. How easy or difficult was it to make?
It's just a wonderful fight. It's one of the best fights in boxing, 2 pound-for-pound greats. And I'm really excited about 2021, and I'm really planning to do special things. I mean, we've got Kelly Abanesian announced, got a massive fight to be announced for February next week, got a huge fight to be announced for early March next week. We're just going to be announcing at least 2, probably 3 shows next week, non-stop. I want to try and do a show literally every week next year around the world. Normally at this stage, on December 19th, I'll be talking to you fucked. I know we've had a busy week, but I'm so full of energy. I'm so full of desire and ambition because this is the first time I've been in America since February. Normally I'm here every week and I'm absolutely bollocks, but I'm rejuvenated, I'm full of energy, and I can't wait to go. I don't want Christmas, I don't want a holiday, I just want to get cracking with boxing worldwide. So Estrada Chocolatito, good sign of what's to come, but there's lots more to come.
One thing, a man who I never mentioned the other day when we did our interview, Gamal Yafai, picking up that EBU title on Thursday night. How happy was you for him?
So happy for him, because he's boxed, once in 2 years? Talk about bicep injuries. I mean, this guy done both biceps. The worst luck going, and he had to go out to Italy and he had to do it the hard way, go and win the European title. And I'm really happy for him because he's turned his career around. He's a very, very good fighter, and he's becoming a veteran now, really, because all these other kids are now turning pro out of it. 2 Olympics or 2 podium squads after him now, but he can go on. I really believe he can go and fight for a world title. So defend that European title in the spring, and onwards and upwards for Gamal Yafai.
All right, Eddie, I don't think I will catch you now before the New Year, so I'm going to leave a final word to yourself to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Take it away.
Absolutely. Listen, it's been a difficult year and it's going to get more difficult, but we've got to keep focused, we've got to keep the dreams big, we've got to stay positive, talk to each other, cuddle each other, love one another, have a great Christmas, and we are going to smash the granny out of it in 2021. See you later.